Certainly play some spells. We see him mostly in Dallas. He has an Open Series win there a couple of years ago, and he's off to a great start here in Atlanta. Both players starting off with a couple of lands. Barich on his side, he's got a Prairie Stream. For Anderson, he's got a Mountain, as round number 11 is underway.
Well, it looks like Anderson here has kept a little bit of a sketcher here. He does have some spells to play early on in the game and 2 lands, but he's missing some color of mana.
Does have a copy of Silk Wrap in hand, also has a Seeker of the Way. So does he want to get on the board with a creature, or does he want to get Jace off the table? That's the big question right now. Looks like he's going to go with Silk Wrap, wants to take care of Jace.
And I like this strategy. Whenever you're at risk of missing land drops, which Todd's in that spot right now, I err on the side of slow the game down. Give yourself as many opportunities as you can to draw out of it.
Treasure Cruise the draw there for Anderson. Battlefield Forge will ping him for 1 so he can cast Seeker of the Way. We'll miss that land drop, and we'll be heading back Barich's way here in just a moment. You are going to get some kind of disjointed draws at times with these Jeskai Black decks. Horribly Awry is going to take care of that Seeker of the Way. It's just, you know, the deck is being pulled in a couple of different directions on what it's trying to do mana-wise and card-wise as well.
Yeah, you look at the spell selection: Wild Slash, Dispel, Murderous Cut, Treasure Cruise, Silk Wrap, Jeskai Charm, Crackling Doom, Valorous Stance. It's kind of a sampler. Some card drawing, some removal spells, some burn. And as you mentioned, you're going to get some weird-looking draws as a result of this.
I love the sampler. One of my favorite menu items.
I always hate sampler decks. It has, I'm not saying they're bad. You know, you can imagine the decks that I play, and then drawing up opening hands with, you know, a Dispel and a Jeskai Charm and a Valorous Dance, and being like, how am I going to make lemonade out of this mixture of lemons?
You would lose your mind.
I would lose my mind playing these decks.
But how do you feel about the sampler at a restaurant like Applebee's?
I mean, if I'm already at Applebee's, I guess it's the best you can do.
Silk Wrap will take care of the Dragon Master Outcast. Here comes a Shambling Vent with a little bit of flair there from Barich. So clearly he doesn't have much going on. And Todd, well, there's a nice Mountain. That's great.
Land's a land.
I guess, does he get, okay, he gets to cast something.
Yeah.
Sure, all right. It's a Monastery Mentor. I think he's expecting a fetch land there, not a basic Mountain.
None of these players firing on all cylinders just yet.
No, not quite, as Aros is going to take care of the Mentor. Back over to Anderson, we're going to go. Mantis Rider, nice. Let's see what's next here for Aaron. I believe it's a Jace. It's a real Magic card. Todd. Crackling Doom. The camera has not been kind to Todd.
It's been a lot of this.
Yeah.
Though this time, you could argue it's at least a little bit self-inflicted. Todd kept a hand where this was a known risk.
He did this to himself.
Yeah.
And Jace is going to be active. Fiery Impulse to the discard. That's card number 4 in the graveyard.
Pro tip: your opponent activates a Jace, and as fast as possible, you say block.
Yeah.
Keep that one in mind.
That's your trick. Jeskai Charm the draw. Todd, he can't take it. He just can't. Game's not even over. He just can't take it anymore.
Fortunately for Todd to run that trick, you need to have a creature in play.
I don't think he was going to draw anything of substance there either, as he looked at the top couple of cards of his deck.
Yeah, get a little eyebrow raise there.
The facial expression in Magic, it really tells it all sometimes. Aaron Barich up a game here over Todd Anderson in the Jeskai Black Mirror. We take a look at the sideboards. We're going to start with Todd. See if he's got any lands in there. I don't know.
2 Disdainful Strokes, a Strass Dancer, Hidden Dragon Slayer, Dragon Lord Salumgar, 2 Self-Inflicted Wound, 2 Roshan Cleric, 2 Exert Influence, 2 Radiant Flames, a Sorum Solemn Visitor, and a Mastery Unseen. I think we're going to see a bit of a control strategy here with Sorin, Mastery, Radiant Flames, Exert Influence, and the Dragon Lord coming in.
Other side of things here for Barich. He's got 4 Disdainful Strokes and Negate, and Exert Influence on the other end. A Search of Righteousness, 2 Roshan Clerics, and no hostilities, a Planner Outburst, and 3 Radiant Flames.
I think Aaron's list is a little less likely to go into the control route. He's the more aggressive of the 2. He can still do a little bit of the Radiant Flames, Planar Outburst, and Hostilities action, but I don't think he's well suited to play that role in the matchup here. I think the 1 copy of Surge of Righteousness, Exert Influence, Utter End, Negate can come in, and I'm interested to see how many Disdainful Strokes both of these players go to.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how many you want to board in this kind of matchup. I think it's pretty tough to figure out. But we'll see soon enough here as both players do go to the drawing board. I think they're going to be here for a little while. So as they do get ready and Todd Anderson will be on the play, we're going to talk about SCG States here that we're going to have next week. And the Open Series is going to be off. SCG States will be on, and you can find out more about that tournament right now.
The forest is my birthright.
A second son inherits only scraps.
What I protect, my brother would destroy.
I earned my strength. My brother earned nothing.
By my father's name,
By the mother you scorned.
I will destroy you.
Get these paired playmats only at the StarCityGames.com Autumn 2015 State Championships. Standard on October 17th and Modern on October 18th. Visit StarCityGames.com/states to learn more.
October 17th is standard, where you can play Jeskai Black just like everybody else. But October 18th, maybe you dial up that Patrick Sullivan Zoo deck. What do you say? Big changes have been made to the deck, as you mentioned yesterday.
I did. Well, I made 2 big changes.
Oh, there's a second one. You didn't tell me about the second one.
Cut the 4th Destructive Revelry in the sideboard for a 4th copy of Path to Exile.
Huge change.
That change was coming for a long time.
Okay.
Cut the 3rd Stomping Ground for a 14th fetch land.
Brand new deck.
Brand new deck.
We'll probably
Thanks.
have to label it differently in the deck database.
Yeah,
That's
it's
important.
different now. Watching Todd sideboard, it looks like he did not bring in the Radiant Flames. He's leaving those on the shelf.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, he's going to be on the play. Now, let's see if he can actually cast the spells this time.
Listen,
That's some of the charm of the format.
Your 4-color deck keeps Mountain Battlefield Forge. I don't know what to tell you.
You did this to yourself.
Like I said, I'm not saying that's a bad keep necessarily. He had some spells to play, but he knew.
Flooded Strand is where Todd's going to start. A fetch land strategy.
So, a little bit better.
Oh, look at this, a Nomad Outpost. That's a
Nomad Outpost.
that's a tri-land.
Someone didn't get the memo.
Yeah.
Someone's not on the right mailing list.
No.
Not to say it's bad, and we've seen these decks run into some color mana issues, so I can appreciate
It's actually quite good.
it's actually
probably.
quite good.
Yeah.
It's just,
It's not trendy or hip or cool anymore, Aaron, to play tri-lands.
yeah. 16 fetch lands, 1 of each basic, and 1 of each battle land.
Yeah.
You must have gotten the memo by now.
Sunken Hollow is what Todd found with that Flooded Strand. His draw was a Prairie Stream. And it looks like he might be able to get to play some Magic this game.
I don't know. His hand's really land heavy. We'll see.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, actually. A Mountain, an Island, a Delta, a Stream. There's a Dispel, which is awkward. Oh, there's another land, too. Another Flooded Strand. There's Delta, pass the turn back. An Island, and a Jace. Anderson going to sacrifice his Delta relatively quickly here. He's going to search up a Smoldering Marsh. And it looks like Todd, as far as colors are concerned, that's not going to be an issue this game. Now, spells, doesn't appear he has very many at this point.
And killing Jace is priority number 1.
Why?
I do not think, because it's just going to loot and then flashback some spells. And,
Oh.
you know, it's
Oh, Plains.
just firing on all cylinders.
Pass turn back. And Barich will draw.
But Todd, with the combo in hand, he has Mentor Dispel. Do not play the Mentor this turn, trying to get him.
We're using the term combo loosely here this morning.
I have never not used the term combo loosely.
Combo deck.
Yeah. Taiga Kurdape. Combo deck.
That's true. Shambling Vent, pass the turn back, and no Jace activation. Interesting little turn there from Aaron. Todd picked up a copy of Seeker of the Way. I wonder if he wants to go that route or if he wants to deploy the Mentor this
Well,
turn.
people reflexively loot with Jace on their own turn, but there's some times where you don't know what the worst card in your hand is yet because you don't know what your opponent's going to do on their own turn. So sometimes you just wait.
There's Seeker. Also, for what it's worth, sometimes your hand is so good you don't need to loot.
Well, these decks always have value putting cards in the graveyard. You would gladly just put the top card of your deck into your graveyard at a moment's notice. So even if your hand can't be improved, you should still be looting. You also want to flashback Jace at some point, or flip over Jace at some point.
Sure. A Fire Impulse going to go after the old Seeker.
You can see Todd not trying to protect this. Right now, his plan is try to get Mentor plus Dispel plus some other action set up in the same turn. So that Seeker of the Way, he let it out there because of Horribly Awry, was aware that was on the radar. So, and wasn't going to try to fight over that Fiery Impulse. That Seeker of the Way was just bait.
Silk Wrap the draw. There's an answer to Jace.
Bang.
Bang has been announced. Prairie Stream is the land. And the wrap. Don't know if it's the best removal spell in Standard right now, but it certainly feels like it at times.
Yeah. Exiling super important, and a lot of things at 2 and 3 mana you want to kill.
See what kind of response Barich has here, if any. Looks like that's going to resolve. Looks like Aaron may have a response here as far as he might try to, I suppose, flip Jace in response.
The Flood Strand's card number 3, and Jace gets you to card number 4, so it's not that challenging.
Maybe he can get to card number 5. Yeah, I think he might be able to. Yeah, Crackling Doom, you. And now, activate Jace. Discard a card and flip it. Now, what's interesting about this is, I don't know if this is a win or a loss for Todd, this exchange.
Well, I would say it's a loss. Todd was hoping that this would not happen, but he knew that if Barich could flip over the Jace, it would probably involve firing off a spell for no value, or close to no value, which is exactly what happened. He at least got a Crackling Doom for his trouble. Now Barich can flash that back, and Todd's still in trouble, but you know, if he doesn't go for it that turn, he can't go for it next turn, because Jace flips for sure. So that's his last chance.
Soulfire Grandmaster, Jace will take up, and now we're going to head back Anderson's way. He'll draw a card. It's Mountain. Might be time to do that Monster and Mentor thing now.
And I think he was hoping for better protection, but the game's slipping away from him, so he just has to go for this, hope that he can dispel a removal spell. There's something wrong with Barich's hand, and Mentor can drag him back into the game if he draws well.
Barich with that active Jace, and a Soulfire Grandmaster out there. Todd with just Dispel and a bunch of lands in hand, though Aaron doesn't know that. And Mentor is always a very scary threat, so most players, and I imagine Barich will fall into this camp, will want to try to get that off the table as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Which is what Todd is hoping happens, and hopes that this spell is good enough to buy some time. Because you can certainly see a situation where Dispel gets him a Monk, maybe he draws into a Treasure Cruise and starts actually doing things.
For sure. No, if he's able to get to his turn with Monastery Mentor, he's drawing very live. His hand's 2 lands. He needs more help from here, but he at least has the hope to top deck well.
Bloodstained Mire. Sir Cracklesworth.
That's not what that's called.
Oh, Crackling Doom. Sorry.
Apologies.
He's going to make a Monk.
Now he can't flash back the Crackling Doom because he has an island. This Jeskai Black deck is really pushing the limits.
It's truly hilarious, honestly. Now, Fiery Impulse is going to be good enough to get the job done here, but yeah, the fact that he can't flashback Crackling Doom, which it makes sense. They have to play basics to facilitate the battle lands. They don't have a choice.
I mean, that was a big risk there, though. Todd had a spell to follow up with. Suddenly, that Mentor's out of Fiery Impulse range, and there's another Monk.
Yeah. Crackling Doom the draw. That's pretty good. This is a pretty clean way to get Jace off the battlefield and Soulfire Grandmaster.
Yeah, this is a starting point. You know, all Todd is trying to do is keep his head above water such that if he draws Treasure Cruise, he can pull ahead.
There's the Doom train. It's too bad that Todd's not mic'd up right now. He has a song for Crackling Doom that he sings. I'm not going to try to imitate it because I don't want to embarrass myself.
Or Todd.
True. Barich has another Jace to play in his hand. So I think he'll lead off there. He will. Not sure if he has a follow-up play or not.
Beat downs. Not willing to do it.
Well, with the fence?
Yeah.
Yeah, easy there.
Dialed it up last game.
Easy there, Tiger. Todd going to sacrifice a Flooded Strand here on the upkeep.
Though it is information from Todd's side of the table. If Barich was not willing to go beatdowns in that spot, likely to have some counterspell in his hand.
Big draws available here. A card like Jace, Treasure Cruise, Dragonlord Ojutai. Plenty of good ones available here for Anderson. He'll go with a Prairie Stream. And we'll see what his draw is for the turn, as he's drawn quite a few lands here this game. He's trying to thin the deck out some, increase the draw step. Bloodstained Mire. To go along with the Mountain. You wanted beatdowns, you got him.
Love it.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, Barich could just fire up the vent and block.
Go for it.
But Todd, he knows. He's got to try to get in some points here and there. He's not going to win the game not attacking and not blocking.
Take one.
Yeah!
Yep. Snuck it right in.
Got it.
Yep. Are we in full mini game mode now? Where we're just
It's not minigame mode yet. It's not like Todd's beat. He's still drawing live. The point is that he's aware that he needs to have some things break his way. And he's got to pick up some points here and there to let that happen.
Here's a Jace activation. Barich will draw and discard here in just a moment. Discarding Polluted Delta very quickly. Jace will flip. Might go up, might go down. We'll see. I believe Barich's draw for the turn was a dig through time as well. By the by. Anderson will draw a copy of Murderous Cut. Right on time.
Nice.
Bloodstained Mire pass. Barich will sacrifice his own Bloodstained Mire. I think we might see his dig through time here in just a moment. And it's a good thing he had that Mire because he only had one source of blue mana, but now he's got two thanks to the Sunken Hollow.
I don't know with the selection of lands that Barich has in play, if it's fair to call this Jeskai Black. It's more of like a Mardu blue.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
The Nomad Outpost, at that point, is it fair to call it Jeskai? I don't know. It's got a shambling vent. It's got a shambling
He's
vent.
taking some liberties with what he can do.
I'm just saying, definitions are a little odd here.
They are. Mantis Rider and Jace, I think.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh boy, there's the Outcast. Powerful card there. Jace up to 7, pass the turn back. Barich in the driver's seat right now. Anderson with a Polluted Delta. He'll have to cast Murderous Cut to try to get the Outcast off the battlefield. Because that card's a real pain in the neck.
Problem is that Todd didn't fight over dig through time. So even if he does kill the Outcast, I think there's a reasonable chance if Barich has Ojutai's command that he just goes for it at the end of the turn.
Yep. Speak of the devil and it shall appear. Todd's going to extend the hand because he's got a land in his hand. He cannot beat the Outcast. That's going to do it. Aaron Barich's going to win this match here over Todd Anderson. 2-0. Jeskai Black Mirror goes to Aaron. He's up to 9-2 and well on his way to another Open Series top 8. So congratulations to him.